Really have this working now. Woohoo! Except I can't see the attendees. Great. Hi, Jan. Everybody who joins, feel free to introduce yourself. I was 8 minutes late, so I think I've missed some people that have registered. I figured out what I did wrong, and that's what this is going to be about. So thank you, everybody joining. There's going to be, I think, people coming in. I'm going to just let a couple others know here real quick to try it again. And we'll get started. So thanks for waiting. Okay, try now. Got some great stuff for everybody today. Collagen strengthening is good for all of us aging women. Specifically, though, if you have any weakness in that area, we're finding more and more women have loose connective tissue. Men as well, but I definitely see a lot more women. And more and more women coming up to me, talking to me about everything from incontinence that shouldn't be happening at young ages to and just skin, noticing the skin's elastin is gone. And these are areas I have a lot of time spent researching all the way back from my thesis. It's been 20 years ago when I was the last one to get published out of my med school. Everybody else did case studies. I did those on top of my thesis. So published on collagen strengthening, and specifically for MARFAN'S, which looks at elastin quite a bit, which is definitely what estrogen does for us. Yay! Oh, great. We have people joining us here. My apologies. I apparently had like 2 webinars going at once and had to go change the time from this one from AM to PM. This is exactly why I am doing this for everybody I have more of a closer connection to follow my patients and those with MARFAN'S I've specifically reached out to. But again, this information can be used for aging populations where we just need collagen support. My athletes always need a little bit collagen support. And now it's, pretty popular. Everybody knows their skin, hair, and nails, and they're picking up stuff. We even have a couple things. So I think I'll kind of get started. Hi, Dr. Amanda Lynn here. I'm 10 years out as a primary care naturopathic physician here in Oregon. We're fully licensed as primary care providers. I have my DEA number, do the whole spiel with school. At the same time, you learn all the nutritional components. Really exciting. I'm going to hope that you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can unmute yourselves. Oh, good. And let me know, or if you have to raise your hand for a question. We'll definitely do questions at the end as well. So if you are able to just kind of shut everything else off, grab a pen and paper, we're going to get a little 101 on connective tissue today. We could focus definitely for 101 with MARFAN'S. A connective tissue disorder that I have. That's why I'm really tall and skinny. I'm the oldest of 5 who have a very strict double gene. So every single one of my siblings have it. And I believe it's about like 12, 11 of the grandchildren out of 13. We have a pretty strong double gene, a new one. So I've worked with and been involved with this for 40 years, and then professionally as a clinician for 10 years, but specifically studying alternative medicine for 20. So I love to get into the nitty gritty and then bring out just some regular things we can do in the kitchen to help make these changes. Back in 2000 and it would have been 7, when the National Marfan Conference was in Boston. I got invited up on a panel of alternative medicine speakers. And we had recently been learning then is when the proteases, the MMPs, came out in research where we realized we're actually breaking our cells down. And what were ways to help build this back up? You know, all the moms want to know what foods they can have and what are the best things to feed their children. So that's what we're going to kind of focus here. It's just the simple things we can start doing that, and this is all education, not medical advice, of course, those lawyers make me say. And, you know, anything really, really specific, I might be punting or letting you just know that what I can educate you around on that. So definitely starting at the beginning, what the foundation is. It's a great place for collagen, for it is the foundation of us, of our connected tissue. What is collagen exactly? The makeup of connective tissue, made up of different layers of fibrins. All of it together is the matrix, extracellular matrix, which has soft and hard, all the types, and the hyaluronic acid, everything that holds it together. We're going to specifically look at collagen type 1 that makes up bones and arterial walls. Very important for us with Marfan's. Tendons, ligaments, obviously a huge one for everybody, really, aging population, sports, injuries, this kind of thing. You can help heal up your injuries faster by knowing some of these basic things that your body needs. Back in Boston, when I was able to talk to a few researchers and living here close to OHSU, where we have discovered the fibrinogen gene, I've been able to, you know, just have some casual side chats with some of these researchers who are finding what I'm finding when I do nutritional testing on us, and that is some nutrients that we're deficient in, which I will get into here, and they're really the basis for creating collagen. So it's because we're having to constantly make new collagen that we've got to give our bodies everything we always need to continue to make it and to make it clean and strong so we can stay away from the scar tissue, which is another thing that collagen 1 can make. So that's where there's going to be some future talks. I'll talk more about how we stop those enzymes from breaking us down to help prevent that scar tissue formation and keep us more organized in our collagen development. They're in the arterial walls along the aortic arch is, of course, our most important areas. I like it for my eyes, but definitely time to get my arch checked too. But I've been able to reverse it in its size with using a lot of these basic nutrients. First one I think it's really important to start with is an old thing us naturopaths would always talked about, your old nutritionists too, and that's something called bone broth. Bone broth was invented to help us heal up and get over colds quite easily, but it essentially is that melted down bone, all the materials you need in a really absorbable form that can go right in through the GI tract and get assimilated immediately into the bloodstream to help you using these building blocks for creating our own collagen. You're probably seeing a lot of things out there, collagen peptides. So this is something I like to use. I don't know if any, raise your hand if anybody's getting into the collagen peptides here. We got anybody who knows about this? Of course, when you're getting bone broth, or this is even more of a further assimilation, this is like a light powder you can add into everything from a bulletproof coffee, which I have a recipe on Facebook, or actually in baked goods. I have a gluten-free muffin recipe available in a cookbook on my website, calypsonaturalclinic.com, and Empowered by Real Food is the name of the cookbook. So that can be really awesome to get in. This is all new since I was 10 years ago doing a lot of support for my aorta med school. Definitely added some mitral valve prolapse and such. And these can, so it's exciting to have something even easier to use here this day and age. So this can be as simple as just using a scoop in your smoothies. This one I like extra amount. You can see it is a berry one. You can get this at discount on my website too. Full Script has all this, but it's a dark chocolate even with blackberry. So the berries are double win for us with collagen issues. Why? Move over to the next one here, and that is the importance of vitamin C for connective tissue. It actually activates and helps, to use a fancy word, hydrolyze collagen, which makes it stronger, specifically in arterial walls. We use this a lot in cardiovascular medicine, and it is very important in this vitamin C to get the full spectrum. We don't want ascorbic acid, the lab made stuff that's been acetone washed as a solvent because that was cheap and easy. I like best, and we're finding is better to go with something that is food based. If you can eat a cup of berries a day, awesome, do it, go for it. Get as clean as possible, of course, on everything. The more pesticides, the more we're going to have some brain fog and other issues that we already deal with enough. Everybody who's joined, feel free. We'll take breaks here and there. We got some new people coming on. Throw out your name, where you're coming from, and if you'd love to share if you have MARFAN'S or your family does, or any other connective tissue disorder, injuries you're overcoming, where collagen is needed in your life, if it's just to make your hair and nails better. But love, feel free to hit back to be able to open your chat box and write anything you would like at any time too. But again, we'll have a Q&A at the end. Happy to see how you guys like this and what other questions you have. Help make connections over to our next in our series here. All right, so back to vitamin C. Food-based will help prevent what we're seeing if we're doing high quantities. And if you're in an acute phase of something, or we're really trying to bring back, say, some dilation, some prolapse, if you're working on something more intensely, you're going to be doing high amounts. High amounts of vitamin C can cause diarrhea right immediately for you. That is definitely not ideal. So some of these forms, like liposomal vitamin C, are very well assimilated and will not cause those belly disruptions, because IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, can be common with us with MARFAN'S. Again, partly because of what we call leaky gut, but we'll talk more about that in the third of the series, because that's definitely important and something I've dealt with a lot myself. The second thing is using high dose vitamin C for long term, specifically with the lab made ones. Then we might start running into suppressing our internal innate antioxidant, glutathione, which is far more potent than some lab made vitamin C. So that's where one of my tricks as a naturopath is trying to